Laura Robles is going to introduce today's speaker. Come on up, Laura. It's okay. We roll with it. Here she comes. Laura.
Hello, I'd like to introduce Brad Capener. He's a former school superintendent and is now the Career Connected Learning Coordinator at Southern Oregon Education Service District. In addition to being a career educator, Brad and his wife Jen are farmers in West Medford, and Brad is a member of the Jacksonville Applegate Rotary Club. Our program today is titled Empowering Careers and Enriching Communities, and he will be presenting the launch of the Southern Oregon Career Center, a regional center offering program in healthcare and behavioral health. SOESD and industry leaders are partnering to provide high school students with ready-to-work skills upon graduation. Expansion into other in-demand industries is part of the future program's goals. Welcome, Brad.
Thank you, Laura. And good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for having me today. And it is a pleasure to be here. Um, Jen and I have been here for a year, and I quickly joined the Rotary in Jacksonville, and so I've been enjoying that. This is my first time in another Rotary club in the region, so it's a real pleasure to see another group in action. So it's great. Thank you. Um, and as Laura was mentioning, I was a superintendent up at North. We lived in Silverton. I was a superintendent of Jefferson School District, which is about 30 minutes from Salem. So I'm going to be talking just a little bit about my experience today in that realm as well. Um, I work for the Southern Oregon Education Service District. We call it the ESD for short. And the ESD supports school districts in three counties. So Jackson, Josephine, and Klamath. And we provide a lot of services, and I'll just give you an example. We provide a lot of special education services. So school districts throughout the three counties often can't afford to have hire staff for special things like autism. So if you have autistic students, for example, they don't have the money to hire a staff expert that works with autistic students. So they coordinate with the ESD, and we send people there to provide the supports. So we have lots of supports in lots of different areas in education, and school improvement is one of them. And I'm the school improvement coordinator, so I lead the team of everything school improvement. And one of those, so we have career technical education, and we support school districts building the capacity of their CTE programs. And then we also have a STEM, and sometimes called STEAM, program, which is science, technology, English, and math. And you throw the A in there for arts. So STEAM. And that's helping school districts help kids from elementary all the way up to high school with their career ideas and what they might want to do with their lives. And so that's part of my team. And then I am exclusively responsible for creating a new program for this region. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. So I'm excited to do that. And as I do that, I'm gonna start by weaving a few stories together. And the first story involves high school youth. Large numbers of high school students we're seeing are disengaged from school. There's in some areas, 30% is the number of chronic absenteeism. And I saw this firsthand as a superintendent after I led a district through COVID. And after COVID, all the kids coming back, we never got them all back. But even when we did, there was a lot of chronic absenteeism, such as, I don't feel like going today. And trying to get that, because they were used to being in a year and a half of just being at home. And then they were like, I don't feel like going to school today. So we have an ongoing problem with a lot of kids not attending school. And then even some who do regularly are not as engaged as we'd like to see them. And so it's always an ongoing conversation about how we can better engage our students. But just for purposes of our conversation today, just know that there are a lot of students out there who are struggling for a variety of reasons. And many of them are just disengaged with school as it is presented to them. And so that is one of the challenges that we're looking to solve. Another story is about rural students in rural communities. So what we're seeing is students in rural counties, rural school districts often don't have the same opportunities for career advancement as their peers in urban areas. So, for example, Medford School District has the Innovation Academy, as I'm sure you know, and there's a lot of CTE programs here. So kids in Medford have a lot of opportunities to participate in thinking about their future and career and what they want to do. Students in rural areas, though, may not have any or maybe just one opportunity. And so when you think about Oregon, there's 198 school districts, and most of those are rural. And so there's a great number of kids who are not getting access to that career opportunity that I'm going to be talking about today. And again, as a superintendent of this rural school district, I saw this firsthand where we had nothing really to offer other than wood shop and an auto class, and which are great, but there was no connection to industry, and there was no way for kids to get a job in those fields after high school. Okay. So that's another story. A third story is students living in poverty. We have, as you know, many students in Oregon, the poverty rate is quite high, and breaking that cycle of poverty for kids, getting them an opportunity to have career, being ready for a job out of high school can sometimes really be a challenge because they don't have the support structures in place oftentimes that other students do. And so, thinking about there's rural, there's poverty, there's disengaged students. So I'm sort of weaving a story here of students who really need some support. The question is, how can we help children lift them out of poverty? And how can we help engage our youth? And how can we help students live in rural areas gain access to quality career opportunities, in-demand, high-wage jobs? Finally, my last story is about industry. I'm hearing, as I talk and meet with leaders in the community, I hear over and over again about the aging demographics in different industries. And there's a lot of industries that are experiencing this, and I'm sure you all are very familiar with that as well. But there's not a pipeline of kids coming up to fill those vacancies. And so as people get ready to retire, there's a need for more people coming into the system. And that is a concern on the lips of many people that I meet with and industry folks as we talk about solutions to that. I'm going to focus on just healthcare as an example. In healthcare in the Rogue Valley in 2019, we had 551 vacancies. And in 2023, we had 1,976 vacancies. This is only going to increase throughout as the decade wanes on. And in Oregon, just another healthcare example, and this isn't just healthcare, this is skilled workers. 27,000 skilled workers are needed to meet the current demand, currently 27,000. And by 2029, it's projected to have 52,000 new job openings per year in careers that require a mastery of technical skills. Just to give you a comparison, we have Washington State that has been very focused on trying to bridge that gap between K-12 education and industry for the last 30 years or so. They have 17 regional centers for that very purpose. They spend about $4,000 per student in Washington. By comparison, Oregon spends $350 per student. And we have one center, not 17, and we're looking to create the second here in this region. So all of this brings me to why I'm here today. And like I said, we are looking to be part of that solution. Not the solution, obviously, it's going to take lots of different ideas and efforts, but part of the solution to all of this. We are creating the Southern Oregon Career Center. It's a regional center that invites students from all over the county of Jackson County. And it including charter school students and private school students. Everyone's welcome to the table. High school students start as juniors. They attend the school every day, 5 days a week in the mornings. And they do this for 2 years. They leave at the end of their high school when they graduate. They leave with certificates where they can go and get a job right out of high school. So I'm going to show you a quick video. If I hit this, will it? No. Thank you. High school students, the future of hands-on career training is here. The Southern Oregon Career Center is your gateway to high-paying, in-demand jobs right after graduation. Explore medical assisting, where you'll learn to make a difference in patient care and health services. Step into behavioral health and become a part of the movement to support mental well-being in our communities. Or take the lead in emergency services, training for fast-paced, life-saving careers. The Southern Oregon Career Center, where passion meets purpose. Your career starts here. Visit us online today to learn more. The future is calling. Will you answer? That's a quick summary. And just to kind of go over a little bit of that, the medical assisting students leave eligible for take the test to become an MA. And we sat with our advisory committee. I have all the hospitals and the clinics in an advisory committee with us. And we asked them, what would be what do you need? And they said, we need medical assistants. And I said, what else do you need? They said, we need phlebotomists and we need PSRs, like public service representatives, the guys, the people when you walk into the office that greet you, we need those folks too. So our program gets them certificates in all 3 of those areas. They can go right out of high school into a job. Also, if they want to, we have a strong partnership with RCC. And if they want to go and become a nurse, they can work as a phlebotomist or an MA while they're in nursing school. They could be making a good income, also connecting and making great connections as they go while they're becoming a nurse. The other behavioral health is only the second of its kind in this country. There's only one other high school program that's doing a behavioral health program, and that's in Salem Kaiser, and we're modeling ours after Salem's. But a student comes out with a QMHA certificate, and they can help. And I sit on a committee called Beacon that has all the behavioral health organizations together. And what I keep hearing is we need more people in the pipeline. We need QMHAs. To help in lots of different capacities. So we're going to put that together, and we're starting that in the fall. The third is the EMT. Students actually get an EMT certificate at the end of high school. They can go right in and start becoming an EMT. We're partnering with Rogue Community College on this project, and Mercy Flights is housing our program. Valley Immediate Care is housing our MA program, and we're in conversations with Health and Human Services to offer our behavioral health program as a location. And we're posting for jobs right now. I mean, we're going to be ready for the fall for all 3 of these programs. But again, with the EMT, a student who wants to be a paramedic already doesn't have to go to 2 years of road community college to become an EMT and then a paramedic. They can go right into becoming a paramedic, and they already have their EMT. They can be working in the field as they're doing it. You can see how this makes sense. When I give this conversation to students, because we've been enrolling students, they are so excited. I have 10 students from Armadillo Charter School. I went and talked to them, and when I first, it was a whole sophomore class. They're all sitting there like this. Like, what are you going to talk about? You know? So I started telling about the school and what we offer. And at the end, every kid had their hand raised up, and they all signed. I mean, I had all these kids sign up. They went to their counselor. They are so excited because it's hope, because it's giving them, you know, a direction, and it's helping them find focus for their lives. So, kind of wrapping up here in summary, students can go right into a good job that has potential for growth, high wage. This is a way to help our local industry here in the Valley. And we're going to be putting mentors with students from the healthcare industry. We're going to be getting them out and doing hands-on experience. This is something that is not offered anywhere else in this Valley. Not like this, not this program. Now, lots of good programs out there, but this one is exceptional. I've seen it in action because I sent 18 students as a superintendent to the Willamette Career Academy, which is the only other one that I was sharing about in Oregon. And I see how it transforms lives, and it's amazing. So I'm really excited to be a part of this. We can help those students re-engage with school. And then our partnership with RCC, we're also partnering with Southern Oregon University in our behavioral health program, looking to how can we work together to do internships together. So there's a lot of excitement around this because it's about partnering and collaboration and working with our communities. So what brings me here to this conversation? Well, the first part is really about just building awareness. I think the more people know about the school and what we're trying to do is a good thing, because the more we build something that's really powerful for our kids, the more you can share what we're trying to do, or the knowledge that you have perhaps helps us in other ways. And so being able to, I'll give you one example, Soretti, if you're familiar with Soretti in the Valley, they have put me in touch with so many business leaders, and that's how they're supporting us, right? And we can also use them as, you know, for grant writing as a partner. But any kind of introduction, people you might know that share this vision, who have a passion for kids and want to see our industry filled with good quality candidates, let me know. I'd really appreciate the handoff, an email, or anything kind of an introduction. The other support we're looking for is, our goal is to have a building where we can house all of these programs. Right now, we're working with our partners in the community, which is great. But we at some point want to have our own building. We'd like to expand to the trades so we can offer, you know, 6, 7 programs and get kids doing the same type of work through with construction or manufacturing, and getting them a job right out of high school. So that's our vision as to how to build. We need, you know, staffing. We need supplies for labs. We'd love to build a dental assisting program at some point because that's a real need in our community. But those are expensive labs. So part of what I'm doing is building awareness. The other part is I'm looking for donations, looking for donors, private donors. I'm applying to grants. We're doing foundations. We have some folks that are interested in helping us buy a building at some point. And so we're just kind of gathering because we see a vision, and we see how impactful this can be for kids, and we see how impactful it can be for our community. So that's my presentation today. Thank you so much for having me. And then if you have any questions, and I don't know if we have time for questions, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer, because I know I didn't answer everything. Yes.
I'm typically one of them. I'm just curious. Oh, sorry. Hi.
Hi.
Just curious how kids will access these programs, because you talked a lot about the rural students that are left behind. Do you have a program to provide transportation? You mentioned it the programs are currently being housed at community partners. So that's kind of all over the place, right? It's not one central hub to bring them to every day. How is that coordination going to work?
Yeah, great question. Thank you. So the school districts pay for the students, and they use grant funds typically for that. So it doesn't come out of the general fund, but they also transport them. So students will be bused to our locations. Valley Immediate Care, HHS are just about a mile apart from each other, so it'll be a quick drop off, and the other is over by the airport. Also, students who have their driver's license can drive. So we have a student in Prospect who's going to be driving. Mom said, "Yep, it's all good." District's signed off on it, so she's going to be driving each day, and has some support through our Youth Employment Services program to help pay for the cost of the transportation and fuel. So great question. Thank you.
You mentioned the disparity between Washington and Oregon, 17 centers versus 1. Is that primarily a political decision by the people in Washington in terms of where they allocate the resources, and Oregon where they don't allocate their resources?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was so. I'd answer it this way. We just tried to enter a bill in this session to help support ESDs for the very thing that I'm trying to do. And the argument I made to our legislators were, if we look down the road, even 10 years, what are we doing to build? And we can't end up 10 years from now and have 100,000 people and job stuff. We need to be working now to build some solutions to this. Our local representatives all nodded their head in agreement, but the bill ultimately didn't go anywhere. And so, and there's a lot of competing interests, I know, and a lot of, the pot's limited, and where do we put it? So yeah, I mean, there just has to be that groundswell of understanding. And somehow in Washington, they started the conversation a long time ago, and they saw the connection, and they started building and made that priority to fund kids for that. So yeah.
So with ESD being in the 3 counties, are you in all 3 counties now with this program? How many students can you take? And I might know somebody that can help you spread the word. So if you would like to do an interview at Channel 5, we'll chat afterward. We'll have you come in and do an interview.
Yeah, I would love to chat on Channel 5. Yeah, great question. So our vision is to be in all 3 counties in some capacity. What we have to do is start small. And I'm starting really small. You asked how many kids. So I have a maximum of 25 students per session. And right now I don't have 25 kids in each program. I'm still recruiting. It's going to take a little bit of time for this to build, because not everyone understands what it is. But once they do, it's going to get really popular. And I've seen that happen in Willamette Career Academy. And I've also seen it happen over in Washington. They have a center over there that's been there for about 25 years. But in talking with them, it's the same thing. They started small and then they expanded. But we're very acutely aware of the needs of Klamath and Josephine and how we can do something similar. I will say that Klamath is on fire when it comes to CTE, and they are doing a lot over there that's really helpful for their kids. So I don't feel that they're at a disadvantage at all. It's just their program looks different than ours, but they have a really meaningful connection with Sky Lakes over there, and they're sending kids to get their CNA, and so they're doing very similar type of work just as a school district. Josephine, however, very they have a 4-day week, and then getting them to go to Grants Pass, working with RCC is kind of our immediate goal. And so we're seeing how we can maybe do satellites or do some kind of a partnership. Maybe it's a shared teacher. We're not sure what that partnership looks like down the road, but for next year and the next couple of years, we have to just build something here and then get it to flourish before we can look to how we can expand. Yes.
If we know youth who might be interested for the fall, how do we connect them with you?
Great. I don't know that I have I have a card. I'll give you that. We have a website, and it's southernoregoncareercenter.org. And there's a contact on there, and and my assistant gets all those emails, and then we can reach out. The school districts that are participating right now are Rogue River, and we're really excited about that. So because they have a one program and they don't have any of these, and they're really excited about it. Armadillo Charter School, Phoenix Talent High School. Those are our people that are signing partnership agreements. Other school districts we're inviting to the table, and we're hoping in year 2. And everyone's in a different position, right? Everyone has a different budget and different issues that they're trying to deal with. Medford has transition of leadership. So we're confident that over time, everyone will come in. But if you have an interest, let's talk and we'll go from there. Yes.
Oh, I got it. Okay. Now you said they go half a day to the transitional school.
Huh.
And then do they go back to for their regular education?
Yep.
The reading, writing, arithmetic, and all that junk.
Uh-huh.
And so this is included.
John.
That's all I had.
I'm just kidding.
But so this there's no additional fees for the students to take advantage of this program.
No, in fact, we've got some grants, and we also have donations. So Providence is donating the uniforms, and then RCC is paying for the textbooks. So we don't have any other costs for students, and the school should bus or kids can drive. So right now we're looking pretty good.
It's wonderful.
There's one back there too. Okay.
Oh, Pat's got a question.
Thank you for being here. If you could clarify for me something, about 10 years ago, we had a program presented to us by 549C where they were introducing the Pathways program, which sounds very, very similar to what you're doing. I'm just curious how, and Pathways works with RCC and the local industry and how do the people work with coordinate everybody coming to that ESD school district?
Yeah, so we aren't not in competition with anyone. We are a yes and. So we are different than other programs. And so, for example, RCC has a program path, where they work with individual schools and they have a few students. And so, that might be in a whole program. They might take a class. We are offering something that is side by side. So they don't necessarily offer the same programs that we do. For example, the behavioral health program, RCC is not offering that, and nobody else in the Valley is. The medical assisting is also RCC has an MA program, and so some students could be in that, but it's not a 2-year cohort. Part of what we're offering is students are part of a family. They come every day, and they're part of still their high school, and then they go and connect with RCC afterwards if they want to continue their education. So it's not in competition with, but it's we're all talking, and it's all about how we can support each other's programs. So we're not trying to take away, or they're not trying to take away from us. It's just we see it as another tool in the toolbox for getting to where we need to be. And so when I talked about those statistics earlier and the need for jobs, one of the things that our advisory committee said was everybody needs to be we need everyone working to help get the MAs here. And so in short, we're all working together. So thank you for the question.
Hi, thank you. So I'm in the medical field and physical therapy, and what we have a need for are physical therapists, and we have a huge need in this valley for physicians. Is there any way among the cohort of kids who are looking at medical field that they can be encouraged to go on to those fields? Yes.
Great question. So part of the program is showing them the field of of the possibility. And that's part of our mentorship program too, right? So when they're working with a medical professional from Providence or Asante or La Clinic or wherever, they are also helping them to understand everything that's possible in the medical field. And we have on our website all the different careers that students can go into listed under. So it's MA program, but underneath that, with that certificate, you might want to decide you want to be a doctor or a nurse. So this is just a really good groundwork that students can earn while they're in high school. If they want to go to another profession within the industry, then we're going to be there to help them try to get that. And not in terms of certificates, but in terms of advice and support in that way and making connections. So yes, thank you.
Okay, great. That was a lot of great questions. Thank you so much, Brad. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you, everybody.